Toronto FC off to Frisco, Texas to take on one of your former clubs in FC Dallas on Saturday. And certainly goal scoring with the injuries has been an issue.
Toronto FC obviously having their work cut out for them this weekend as they head south with a battered lineup once again.
Jermaine Defoe off to a great start to the season, but now he's out obviously with that hamstring injury.
The depth is going to be tested once again for this weekend, and Ryan Nelson has had to deal with this from Columbus to Colorado and now against FC Dallas. This is an opportunity for some of the youngsters or players that don't get a lot of playing time to really step in and see if they're able to contribute as much as some of these big star players are.
Just getting off the plane, flying in, looking at all the buildings, seeing the downtown, getting on the bus, driving through all the old areas that I used to go around to, seeing restaurants I used to go to, I had a lot of great memories here. I loved it. Obviously, it's the first place I played, the first place, I got an opportunity to play. But you also have some not so fond memories as well.
All right, first of all, I'd like to thank my parents, my brothers and sister, and the rest of my family for their continued support. Kevin Grimes, Peter Lair, Henry Folk, and all of my teammates over at Cal.
My first season, I didn't see the bench a single game. You go through college being, the best. One of the best, right? So that first 6 months, there was a lot of times where I thought, all right, maybe soccer is not gonna be the route I go. Maybe I'll do my 3 years. I'll have some money saved up. I'll still be 22 by that point, which would be like coming out of college. So I'll go back, finish up the last year, and then I'll just start the rest of my life, working a normal job, and I'll just have a little more money saved up than I otherwise would. And that thought crossed my mind, a few too many times, actually. They put out the travel roster on a whiteboard, right? They got the starting lineup, and then they got the subs listed up. And I was pretty sure I was gonna travel. I'd started the week before, I think, and they were taking forever to put it out. And so it just kind of clicked the minute that they weren't putting it out. I was like, oh, something's going on. And then I'm just waiting around the locker room working out, and then Shellis Hinman, the coach at the time, came up and said, hey, I need to speak to you. So I went in, and that's when I got the news, and then I was on a flight the next morning.
Off the bench, Andrew Wiedeman probably didn't expect to be coming in this early, but it looks like Danny Kuvermans is going to be stretchered off, and Wiedeman's going to be coming into the game as his replacement.
But despite the fact Wiedeman has hardly played in Dallas, just 5 appearances, 1 start this season, he thinks he's got the potential and just needs to be in the right environment and given an opportunity.
It just kind of speaks to the highs and lows, right, of the game. You start out so low, the team's down here, then all of a sudden you get put together a few wins, and it's the best feeling in the world, and you think you're capable of doing anything. And then just as soon as you're up here, you just, reality check, and you get brought back down to earth. I wouldn't say that it was a team that didn't give me the opportunity, I didn't earn the opportunity in their eyes, right? Sometimes you don't see things, eye to eye, but I want to go out there, I want to do well, I want to score goals, I want to win. That's the same going into any game, but they'll probably feel a little better tonight, just that much better.
Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. You see a great crowd here tonight as FC Dallas have played a ton of home games to start this 2014 MLS season. Yes, you're level at 1-1, but TFC need to possess the ball a bit more here. They're certainly on their heels. Corner kick coming up again for FC Dallas, and that will, we mentioned it was at 10-3 after the half, so this is number 11.
Well, the question for Ryan Nelson is, does he try to go toe-to-toe with this potent Dallas team? And Toronto really lacking in terms of forward support, anyone to bring off the bench outside of Andrew Wiedeman. Of course, Jermaine Defoe is out. Wayne De Rosario struggling with injury. Alvaro Ray.
And now here's a chance for Dallas trying to cut it back. This is trouble, and here's a shot right on, and Cesar there to make the save. Gilberto gets behind the defense on the bounce, into the area, knocked down to the ground, and the referee lets play continue on. This one headed up into the 6. Look out, this is trouble. Settles down, shot tipped in. Your theme, Paul Dolan, tonight has been about belief. In the 90th minute, Toronto FC are down a goal for the first time this night. Now Andrew Wiedeman's at the scorer's table. Toronto FC, when they get an opportunity here, will make a substitution. Past the halfway line. Bradley still possessing the ball, turning away from two defenders, and finally the foul is called.
Michael Bradley trying to carry this team on his back.
Now Caldwell. Moore stays with the play, chipped into the box and just over the bar by Andrew Wiedeman. And there it is, whistle to the mouth. Your game comes to an end. Toronto FC. This might be a tough one to swallow on the road, even though it's against a good Dallas team, Paul.
It's a difficult place to play, but again, it doesn't change the the main point, which is just that, you know, we weren't good enough.
Well, all of Toronto FC is definitely going to be wanting to put that game behind them as they look forward to the next 2 weeks. And I don't think there's any team that's ever looked more forward to a weekend off than Toronto FC, with all of the nagging injuries and all of the knocks that they've got.
Yeah, you know, just getting suits fitted here at Garrison, and you know, it's nice for them to welcome us here. You put a good suit on, you feel good about yourself, you feel good. It's always important to it doesn't matter what you're wearing, to feel good and to be you in what you're wearing.
The history here, it goes pretty deep. I mean, the founders and everyone, really just kids that love clothes, and that's how it all started. We want to be like proud Toronto business and proud Torontonians, and part of that is supporting the local sports teams, right? Going to all the games, attending events, and showing them their full support. That's what breeds success.
It's a lot of pressure on you when you're playing, when you're training, and it's very important that you get along and you create a good understanding and create a family off the field. I think it reflects on the field. I think it has reflected so far this year. I think you've seen when guys are out injured, when guys, whether it is guys are always covering for each other, and that's from a build of trust, and that's a build of friendship. So, and thankfully throughout the team, we've had a good team camaraderie, and you know, guys really gotten together and really stood behind each other.
I think one of the main things is, regardless of where they're from right now, there's a ton of camaraderie. Like, the team is more important than anything. What's unique is seeing how the different interactions culturally are happening. We had all the Brazilian guys here and stuff, and they're speaking Portuguese, and they've got these mannerisms and tones that are totally different from like Caldwell and the English guys that are here. A lot more pose and stuff, but like, you can see it. So what I think is unique is each of the guys really embodies their culture and is bringing their own unique cultural element to Toronto and to the FC team. I think it's a special treat working with any of the players or teams or celebrities. It's kind of like icing on the cake. But I mean, everyone that walks in the door here is special to me.
I've always said it, you know, Toronto has a lot of talent in all areas, whether it's fashion, whether it's sports, whether it's music, arts, a lot of talent here, and you know, it's good when you meet that talent and you share the same passion, and it's nice to see and support each other.
Yeah, so tonight we're sleeping out on the streets of Toronto to raise awareness for the homeless youth in the city of Toronto. I think that, you know, we're lucky to be involved in the business of sport and recreation, and it's about empowering individuals to reach their potential. I think that's what sport does. It has the ability, unique ability to motivate people, and at Toronto FC we have you know, we have players all the way from U12 all the way up to the senior ranks in our first team, and you see the importance of a support network. You see the importance of a place where they can come and eat and be supported every day to be on the field. But what the Covenant House does here is much more important than what we do on the field. and it's about creating that support network for the homeless youth, right? And there's this misconception that it's low income only, but no, the youth here are low, middle, and high income people that found themselves on the streets for a number of reasons. And it's important for us to raise awareness about this, because a lot of people don't know that there's about 2,000 youth on the streets of Toronto. So for me, it's about that support network to raise awareness, to give back. I think it's about perspective. It's about allowing youth to realize their potential. And I think in the same way, we have potential that's unrealized. And it's not just about what's happening on the field. You got to look at it holistically. It's about what's happening in someone's entire life. You know, I think we're appreciative of where we are, because we have so many new pieces and so many new personalities. But I think what's happened is we've seen that we all have a common goal, and I think that's getting us through this first half of the year. I think we've been organized, and I think Nelly and the coaches, to their credit, have done a tremendous job of making sure that people have the commitment and the same vision every day when they go out in the field, whether or not that's a home game or we're on the road. There's really no comparison to what we're doing on the pitch, but I suppose that, you know, motivating individuals and that sort of unrealized potential is something that is the nexus.
Yes, Jahan. Huh? No, I don't like playing two-touch on camera. Oh. Jesus. Whoa.
No spin, Clay, that's the key. Let's go, kitty cat.
Yeah. I'm in. So we're at Kia and just kind of helping a bunch of little kids, you know, a little bit more expertise. I am gonna coach goalkeepers, you know. I feel like I should probably have my gloves.
We are gonna open it up to you guys. Yes? I know she's already got your she was with us last time. So if anybody, does anyone have any questions off the top? Yes?
Were you happy that Julio Cesar came to TFC?
This guy's asking tough
questions. The heaters, right off the bat, the heaters.
Joe Bendik was really one of the bright spots last year for Toronto FC, and probably thought that he had secured that #1 job.
Well, last year I was no expectations at all. You know, just coming to the season, earned my spot as #1, and, you know, grasped it for 33 games, 34 games the entire season. And then going into this year, thought I would be in the same position, you know, was kind of looking forward to taking on more of a leadership role. Then when I heard, you know, Julio was going to come here, it was a pill to swallow, you know, it was a big one. And I wasn't sure how I was going to react to it. Honestly, I really wasn't sure.
What newspaper do you work for, kid?
Toronto Star.
Toronto Star. No, I was happy, also mad though, because I wanted to play, right? When the news came down, Michael Bradley just told me, he said, look, this happens at big clubs, and TFC is becoming a big club now, and this is what's going to happen. I mean, look at every people who started here last year, their spots taken from a very, you know, reputable player. But as soon as I met him, I got to know him, and, you know, we're very close. We're extremely close. I would say we're friends, you know. As soon as he got here and I saw what kind of guy he was and how much fun we have in training and everything, and, you know, I can learn from him every single day. Sometimes when you have teammates, you just think that, you know, you're teammates, but we're genuine friends and we talk all the time, and I learn from him every single day. You know, goalkeeping, yeah, a little bit, but more about his past experiences, about, you know, when he was with Milan and when he was with QPR, about certain clubs, about certain situations in games. My biggest mistake I made was when I was playing in Norway. I came out for a ball and I completely missed it. And he always tells me the best goalkeepers, they make a mistake, they throw it right away. And he said that's just your next step. That's what you need to go on. I mean, I watched this guy play all through college. I watched him play growing up. You know, I wear the number 12 because he wore the number 12, you know, with Brazil, the first World Cup. So it's been an awesome experience. For me, it's a 2-month preseason, and every Saturday when I'll come ready to play. But at the same time, I know that I need to be ready as soon as Julio leaves for the World Cup, and I need to step in and play just like I did last year. Play to 2, so if you get 2 goals scored on you, then you go out and the next team comes on. Ready? Yeah. You guys sure? Yes. Good save. Give it. Oh! Stay out. That was a great save. You see what it means? You make the save, and your team scores. If you beat me, what?
If I beat you, that tells you you're amazing.
You're amazing. You're already amazing.
Better than you, Dad. Yeah, that one's your weak side.
This is my weak side. Maybe I'm just playing with you. You know, when we're out here coaching little kids, it takes our mind off of results, the standings, the table, everything. Whoa! Oh! Here we go.
This is your save. Go left.
And we just kind of get to see that it's just this really fun game that we all loved when we were 10 years old. Yeah, we're doing playoffs.
No, you already got a spot in because there's 5 teams, so you already got a spot in the semifinals. We versus them, and they versus
I like
them.
this kid. You just came in. You're on the #1 team.
What's up, bud?
Hello. I like your hair.
Thanks, bro. I like yours.
Thanks.
You want to trade?
I cut his hair. And I screwed it up.
Hair's nice too.
Thanks. Oh, there's already one here.
You didn't see it.
Very, very sneaky. Thanks. Cool. All right. Going to grab my gloves.
A key stretch of time for Toronto FC is 4. Their next 5 games are at home before the World Cup break. The big story, I guess, this week is having that bye week and being able to get back some bodies, get them healthy. They've dropped their last 2 games. Daniil Henry's been out quite some time with that knee injury, but he is back. He says he just needs probably a little bit of work to get to match fitness, but I wouldn't be surprised if we still saw him in the starting 11 on Saturday.
With the return of Jermaine Defoe, this is one of the healthiest lineups we've seen from Toronto since the start of the season.
So 2 teams with reason for optimism in the early weeks of the campaign. Toronto FC looking to recapture that early season form. Most of their big guns back in business today after that mini-injury crisis. Such a lot expected of Jermaine Defoe, and it's worth mentioning, as Christian alluded to, that this is his last MLS game before Roy Hodgson names that England squad. Here comes Defoe, he has Gilberto outside him. Here's the Brazilian. Couldn't quite slide in. Shuttleworth smothered it. Alcara was talking about the chemistry, perhaps a glimpse of it there. Inside for Defoe. Touch inside. Looking for the movement of Osorio and Gilberto. Well, they almost got in each other's way. It's Jackson, another Brazilian, fires for goal, and taking the deflection and got in. But it was harmless until it took the deflection. And in the 6th minute, Jackson scores. It's 1-0. Position. Gilberto. That's too far ahead of himself off his own chest. Jackson up against Alston. The ball across as far as Osorio. Turns in. This time, just wide again. How much closer is Gilberto going to come before one nestles in the back of the net? Teasing Toronto on the edge of the penalty area. And they find the final ball. Might. It was Bunbury. Mullins. Oh my word. Well, that's how to make a name for yourself as a rookie.
You just keep the ball for 4 or 5 passes, you will break them down. If we can switch it, it opens up. Just be patient. Be patient with it. And you'll win this game. We've had the chances. You're going to get these chances again. But we have to raise it a level. Without the ball, we have to raise it. This is what good teams do, boys. We have to raise that level, okay?
Jermaine Defoe. It's going to be Shuttleworth's, is it? It is. Brave from Shuttleworth as Jackson closed in. And you can't take your eyes off this all of a sudden. Still plenty of players forward. One of them is Tierney. And then was there a handball? There was. It's ended up in the back of the net, but it's going to be a penalty. I think the handball against Henry. The win scored last week from the penalty spot against Sporting Kansas City. That is the final whistle from World Cup referee Mr. Geiger as boos begin to ring around BMO Field, a third straight defeat for Toronto FC.
Oh, you can't hear me cry, see my dreams all die, from where you're standing on your own. It's so quiet here, and I feel so cold. This house no longer feels like home. Ooh.
Well, I think we're just, you know, we have to learn how to win at GFC. It seems like if we concede in our home field, it seems to be the worst thing that ever happened. And we just have to get a bit more confidence at home. And if something sets us back, so be it. We move on and we keep playing.
Just unlucky, you know, not to score. But yeah, it was frustrating because I think overall we felt like we're the better team, especially in the second half. They didn't really have any good chances. The header onto the inside of the post and it came back to the goalkeeper. Maybe on another day, you know, it hits the inside of the post and it goes in, or it comes down to someone else.
It's definitely work in progress for Ryan Nelson to make sure that these guys understand and work to the best of their ability together.
Well, we did see, Adrian, that Alvaro Rey was healthy to go for this one. We talked about this before. Kyle Becker earning his opportunity to get the spot to start in Alvaro Rey's absence. And, you know, I still think he held his own out there. I don't think he had a poor game.
I think Ryan Nelson has to make some very tough decisions because one of these guys that you probably feel like should be starting, you got to do what's best for the team.
Quiet here, and I feel so cold. This house no longer